this video, we will explain the idea of fractional concentration of oxygen, or FiO2.
The CPAP machine blends air and oxygen together.
This gives you the option of increasing or decreasing the proportion of oxygen in the blend depending on the needs of your patient.
BCPAP produces a mixture of air and oxygen with positive pressure. The percentage of oxygen in the mix is called the fractional concentration of oxygen, or FiO2. The two flow meters allow you to adjust the total flow, that is, how many liters per minute the machine is pumping out. But they also allow you to adjust the percentage of oxygen in the mix, or FiO2. As we increase or decrease CPAP treatment, we will need to do this in even steps, usually by changing the FiO2 by 10% at a time.
This is not a simple calculation. Remember, the air already contains 21% oxygen. In other words, atmospheric air has an FiO2 of just over 20%.
So on the CPAP, to produce these, the oxygen flow meter will be showing 0. To find the best settings for the baby, we need to know how much to change the oxygen flow, to increase or decrease the FiO2 by 10% at a time. The amount of oxygen we need will vary depending on the total flow. If the total flow rate goes up, you need to increase the amount of oxygen to keep the same percentage of FiO2. The oxygen blending table, which you will find on top of the device, allows you to calculate this. It tells you how much you need to change the oxygen flow to achieve different percentages of FiO2. You will choose the FiO2 percentage and choose the total flow, depending on how much CPAP treatment your patient needs. The table allows you to then determine which settings you need on the oxygen flow meter.
Remember, the way we set the correct amount on the CPAP oxygen flow meter is actually to adjust the output of the concentrator or other source. The regulator on the CPAP is kept open.
So let's see how this works. The total flow rate is written in the left-hand column. So these numbers relate to the total flow meter on the CPAP. This is normally set at 6 liters per minute for babies. The percentage of oxygen in the mixture, or FiO2, is written across the top. This will usually change when you step up or step down treatment. The numbers in all the other squares, written in black, tell you how much oxygen is needed to achieve different percentages of FiO2. In other words, they tell you which setting to use for the oxygen flow meter on the CPAP. For example, if your total flow is set to 6 liters per minute and you want to get 50% FiO2, then the chart shows you that you need to set the oxygen flow to 3 liters per minute. If you then want to get 80% FiO2, with the total flow still at 6 liters per minute, you will need to increase the oxygen flow to 4.5. If you now want to increase the total flow to 7 liters per minute and maintain the same percentage of FiO2, then you need to increase the oxygen flow to 5.5. Remember, the usual starting settings for CPAP for babies is 50% FiO2 at 6 liters per minute total flow, with 6 centimeters of water in the bottle. If the treatment needs to be increased, you will need to refer to this oxygen blending table.
This video has shown you how to read the oxygen blending table. The next video will show you how to use the table when making decisions about increasing CPAP treatment for babies whose condition does not quickly improve.